with a supervisor there that does with the children.
Okay. What do you have a question about?
Oh, I don't have a question. I have a very highly concern, and I have evidence of something that I know never happened, so I need to speak with your supervisor, please.
Okay, is this on an open case that we have?
No, I know you don't have an open case, because if you had an open case, me and my son and his wife would know about it, because I'm sure you would have contacted us by now. But we have repeatedly over the seven months tried to get y'all to make a report and look at what we're trying to tell you, that my son is, my grandson is kidnapped legally through a paperwork. And we finally got all the paperwork together, and it has your name, CPS and DHS, on 2 different documents that were filed with the court. But I do know 110% that on February 4th, y'all was not involved with my son or his wife. And I also know on May 20th to the 23rd, y'all were not involved with my son and his wife. And no one has contacted them because there was no case open. Therefore, the lawyer that kidnapped my grandson has committed fraud on your department.
What's the child's name?
Vincent Wood. Vincent Jacob Daniel Wood.
What is his last name?
Yep.
What was the first name?
Vincent. But I have court documents that say otherwise. And the court documents were drawn up, typed up by the lady that planned on kidnapping him before he was even born. And I can prove that, but nobody wants to get off their ass and do anything. And I don't mean to be mean to you or sound like I'm trying to be rude. I'm not.
What's your child's date of birth?
2/3/16. They have never had a DHS case open for Benson Wood. Never. Y'all have not found my kids unfit, and the paperwork says that the Department of Human Services, Child Protective Services, has found my son and his wife unfit. Y'all have not found them unfit because y'all have not been involved. But wait, the court says we don't want to get y'all involved, because if we get y'all involved, y'all have to tell the fucking truth of how they kidnap babies. And I'm just letting you know, I am recording everything I just told you. So therefore, if you don't take this to the next step,
well, ma'am,
and I'm also taking this to the FBI.
And get you in with the right person is what I was trying to do. Hold on, please.
Man, if I can get to that judge's office, that judge, if I put this in front of her face, she's going to do her job.
What judge?
Yeah, the judge that took the girls, she had to take the girls from me and give them to who they said, because they still had their parental rights. I never went and tried to take their parental rights away, even though I've taken care of her kids. I wasn't that way.
Yeah.
I was too worried about getting the girl surgery so she could see, because she was blind.
Have some more candy, sir?
Yes, Miss Susie, you sure can.
She follows the law.
That's for you.
I don't want another one.
That's for you.
That baby snatching stuff has got to stop. They can't keep doing it.
Ma'am, hold on. I'm going to transfer you to the supervisor. This is Jamie Allen. calling.
Yes, ma'am. Did she give you any information of why I'm speaking with you?
She gave me a little bit of information.
Okay, I'm going to fill you in on how a lawyer and one judge decided they were going to take a baby and kidnap him through paperwork, but misrepresented themselves in the paperwork by putting DHS and CPS on the paperwork. That way it looks like something was done that was never done. And I have every single document that proves what I'm saying is true. On February 4th, my grandson was 15 hours old. There was papers filed in Jackson County's Chancery Court with Judge Fondren with his signature on the bottom. You won't find a court transcript because it was done behind closed doors with the lawyer and the judge. And in that paperwork, it said that DHS CPS found my son and his wife unfit. Right? My son and his wife, if you look up Benson Wood and Christina and Corey Wood as the parents, they went home with my grandson. They had Medicaid and everything for him. I don't even know if he might be still on the Medicaid. He should be. They had everything they needed for him. Well, on March 23rd, or from March 20th to March 23rd, there was multiple different court papers that were filed. Again, on the top, CPS and DHS were supposedly involved with an open court case saying that my son and his wife are unfit. And then again, on May 23rd, she wrote your numbers again, your DHS and CPS, on some paperwork and filed it again and got custody of my grandson. Her fake adoption is about to be finalized on the 4th month of this year, this coming year, or the 4th day of this coming year. If someone doesn't realize that they misrepresented themselves by saying there was something open that was never opened. Now, in the process of actually going through these papers and putting things together, I paid $2,000 to a lawyer that lied to us, had us sign things that my children didn't even want to sign, so she could get what she needed to complete her adoption. I have every single text message for the past 7 months from the GAL that they decided to point to the case to do her adoption, to the lawyer that we hired, to the side court cases that were made that wasn't even incoherent with the court dates that was supposed to have been for my son to get his child and be able to see him. This lady made my son believe that the only way he was going to see his child again is he had to file for a divorce. He never wanted a divorce. Him and his wife are still together. They're still fighting for their child, and all that Jackson County wants to do is cover it up. Right now I'm on my way to go speak with a judge. I've done sent this stuff off to the FBI, and I'm going to keep sending it off. The next step, I'm going to keep sending it to the media. I don't care they put a gag order on me. They're not kidnapping my grandson. They're not. And if y'all want to help cover it up, you can help cover it up. But I'm going to tell you, there's enough people out there that when I go to jail, or if I die trying to expose the truth, that will keep on exposing it. So which way do y'all want to work with this?
I'm still confused because we don't have an open case on you at all.
I know you don't. So therefore, they are committing fraud by using CPS and DHS. When I get up here to this judge's office, if you give me your fax number, I will 100% fax you every single piece of paper that the lady filled out and put y'all's information on, saying that y'all took my grandson away from my kids. And that is not true, because y'all was never involved.
Right, yeah, that's not true. We didn't do that.
So if you didn't do that, then don't you have to report it? Don't you have to say, hey, no, this is false, and you have to report it and go get my grandson from the fucking people that kidnapped him? And I don't mean to cuss, but if your child was kidnapped and it was through paperwork and that lie was put on it, and you know, and you're a supervisor, and you know that that never happened, what would you do?
Ma'am, I know
7 months. 7 months. I got ripped off for over $2,000. My kids are constantly.
I'm sorry you're upset, but I don't even know what's going on with your case. I don't know who has your
Because there is
child.
no, I know who has him. The lady that planned on kidnapping him. I have the adoption papers with DHS CPS found him unfit to have a child.
Who had guardianship?
Judge Fondren gave it to the lady that planned on kidnapping my grandson the day that he was born. I have the adoption papers signed by him. I have every single piece of document, even the side cases that they opened and closed to push papers so they can put them in her file to complete her adoption.
Have you contacted law enforcement?
Oh, wait, you can't contact law enforcement over there, because if you try to contact law enforcement over there, all they want to do is tell you, don't come back or we're going to put you in jail because Judge Fondren's name is on the paper. That means it's gold.
Have you called our hotline number to put in a report?
Oh, we have reported and called that hotline at least 4 times over the past 7 months.
Because the last report that I'm seeing is from March, and that was closed. So, I mean, just like you're saying, we don't have any involvement. So, if
That's right, and because it is a child, you need to get involved and go do your job and take my grandson back from the person who has kidnapped him, and I could prove it because she filed an adoption when he was only 15 hours old. 15 hours! 15 hours old! You can't even file a motherfucking adoption for 72 hours.
Ma'am, if you want us to be involved, what you need to do is call the hotline and make
I did.
a new report.
Why? So y'all can close it again? I'm letting you know, I'm recording this. I am recording you telling me that you're not doing your job. And I'm getting ready to walk into a judge's office, and I'm going to let her hear how y'all keep saying you can't get involved and do your fucking job.
I'm telling you how we can.
I've already done it, and the last one was not in March. We didn't get the paperwork until November. The last report that we made with y'all was in November. When we came back when we went to the state capitol office, we went up there to their DHS and told them that my son and his wife decided to go to Louisiana and sign a petition for me to have my grandson without knowing that all this stuff was going on. And y'all say, well, take that over there because you got custody by mandate. Take that over there and go pick him up. We even have a police report from the same night, not a report, but we have a documentation with the police department that went out there and did a welfare check on my grandson. So therefore, nobody that is with any statute that can help me wants to do anything.
We can help you if you make a report.
I already did.
Not today, you haven't.
Alright, so I'm going to call you back. I'm going to make another report.
Yes.
And
you
then
need to call back, make a report. It has to be a documented report today. Okay?
Okay, and then
That's how
what?
we can send out an investigator to your home and come and talk to you about everything.
I live in Biloxi. My address is 321 West Drive. And they need to call me in advance because I got a lot of things going on, and I'm passing this stuff out to a lot of people and trying to make sure of my safety.
We will help you, but you got to follow that report.
Alright, I'm going to hang up and call this 800 number again. Alright.
The number?
Oh, I got it. All you have to do is call your number and push 1.
Okay, call them.